Check out the links in my description for more information, for more resources. Check out the podcast. Check out the Facebook groups. Just check out the links. There's a lot of great stuff there. Comment, rate, subscribe, share, like, dislike, whatever you want to do. This is my Caulifla Chain Zenoh deck. One copy of the leader. Or Awakened Warrior Bardic. Or Zenoh the Plain God. Or Chain Attack Trunks. Or Total Righteous Aid. Or Kaioken Goku. Or Fearless Pan. Or Caulifla. Or, Skillless. Or Nappa Super Combo. Or Universe 4 Assemble. Or Test and Opposition. Or Violent Rays. Or Goku Jr. Vegeta Saiyan Scion. Or Sin Shenron Unison of Calamity. And 1 Pan Time Patrol Maiden. So there's, there's a couple different variations of the Chain Zenoh strategy. But obviously, the goal is to start off aggroing your opponent, try to get them down to 4 or less life. With Goku Jr. Saiyan Scion and Nappa Super Combo. Now, the way you want to play this, with this leader specifically, you want to play the Unison, right? Swing with the Unison first, then combo Nappa from your hand. So that way, it's a 20k swing at your opponent. So you're pretty much going to hit, right? So you deal damage, then Nappa hits the field. Then you want to -1 from the Unison to bring out 2 Caulifla Skillless battle cards, right? Then, so that means you have 2 Cauliflas and a Nappa in play. So 2 10Ks. 3 10Ks. You use the leader's active main ability where once per turn take a card from your life, add it to your hand, choose the leader and all your non-black battle cards, and give them a 5k boost. So that means all your Cauliflas and Nappas will get 5k, so it'll be 15ks. Plus the leader will be 15k. So you have 4 15k attacks swing at your opponent's leader. There's a high chance that all those attacks are going to go through because they're all 15ks, right? And if your opponent wants a combo, it's going to cost them a couple cards to do so. Or at least a couple super combos, ideally, right? Turn 1, make your opponent waste super combos is delicious, right? So, you swing, right? So, with this, 2-card combo and the leader effect, you should be able to take your opponent down to 3 life on turn 1. So, like I said, the goal is to get them to 4 less life. So that way, by the time we have another strategy, because you could turn 3, and on turn 3 you can finish, try to finish your opponent off with a fearless pan play, or get to turn 4 and then chain attack Trunks Zenoh your opponent. So there's options, but if you have the combo, you'll want to have Sin Shenron, and you want to have Chain Attack Trunks and Zenoh in your hand. If you do, then on turn 3, you want to play your Sin Shenron. Depending on your opponent's deck, especially after you dealt them 5 damage, you might need a Topo to survive turn 2, right? Just to get to turn 3. But anyway, like I said, turn 3, you want to play Sin Shenron. You want to do this +1 ability, track to your opponent's board. The fact that he has the ability that all your red cards can attack active battle cards come in handy. In case your opponent has some blockers, just start picking them off. I mean, they're not too big of a deal. You're not really worried about blockers when you do Zenoh, because Zenoh will get rid of the blockers. But I'm just saying, if your opponent has battle cards in play, get rid of them while you can, right? Especially if your opponent has battle cards that have the potential to potentially stop your chain attack Trunks combo. Especially, here's something you could do, especially against Sin Shenron, right? Because it's going to eat Sin Shenron. Against the Sin Shenron deck, if your opponent has the 9-drop, you can actually use this Unison to kill it. Because what you do is you play it, right? You do the +1 ability, minus 15k from your opponent's 30k, which now makes it a 15k, right? This can attack something that's in active mode, right? Because it's a red card. And then you swing at your opponent's Sin Shenron. And then, of course, if you're 20k, so you're already 5k stronger. So in order for your opponent to protect their Shenron 9 drop, they're going to have to combo 10k, essentially a super combo, just to try to save it, just so it doesn't die. Typically, from my experience, it normally just dies. But in the advent that it does not die, right? You still have your leader's ability, so you can +1. Take a life and turn her into 15k, and because this does say red cards can attack active battle cards, and she's a red card, she's a red leader. Should be 15k. You can swing with her to your opponent's Shenron, and try to take it down that way. If your opponent manages to save the Shenron from this unison. So that's something to keep in mind, because as long as the Shenron's not in play, right, the 9 drop's not in play, you don't have to worry about it being used to negate your chain attack trunks or your Zenoh, whichever one they choose to try to negate. But it's just something to try to keep in mind, if that works. I think pending autos can't be stopped by Shenron, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. If the 9 drop's not a problem, then it's not a problem. But if it is, then there's a way you could try to deal with it. But the main thing about this Shenron on turn 3, other than trying to use it to at least get rid of 2 battle cards, with the minus 15k ability plus attacking and stuff, right, to clear your opponent's board, is the fact that on turn 4, when you're going to do the chain attack trunks, you might want to use this card's minus 2 ability first. My original idea was to use it after you chain attack trunks to rip a card out of your opponent's hand. But if your opponent has a blue unison or a green unison, then you want to use this card's minus 2 ability first to rip a Charismatic Brilliant Frieza or a Gasoline Trunks. Because those two can be an issue. They can get in the way of your chain attack trunks Zenoh combo. So that's a way you could try to protect your combo from that. Because I always look and think of like, none of these have the flex or Gasoline Trunks will hurt this strategy. But because this is part of the strategy, it's like, oh, okay, I can use this to look at my opponent's hand and get rid of the God's Ceiling and the Charismatic Frieza, or any free counterplay is what I'm trying to say. I mean, shit, another potential card that probably wouldn't work. Well, technically would work, yeah. I was gonna say, like, what's his name? Yamcha Barrage or something like that. He's a free counterplay. He could be a problem. The main point is using this to counter your opponent's free counterplays, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So this would be a good way to preemptively get rid of those counterplays, so that we can play this strategy without them playing it, right? So it's a counter to their counter, is what I'm trying to say. So there's that. And after you do get Zenoh on the field, you and your opponent will draw 5 cards. Hopefully, ideally, get a Awakened Warrior Bardic out of it, and even Nappa out of it. So that way, you have a couple free play cards you can play after, battle cards after the fact. Especially Nappa is pretty good because of the fact that the leader powers up non-black battle cards. So that means anything that's blue, red, green, yellow can get powered up by the leader. So what you want to do once let's say you do get the Nappa into play, and the Awakened Warrior Bardic into play. Since the Awakened Warrior Bardic won't be able to be powered up by the leader, let's see, either the unison. Okay, so if the unison still in play, obviously, right? You'll swing with it, and combo Napa just so you can get this, Napa on board, right? So you have a 30k swing in your opponent, you get Napa on board. Then use the leader's ability. Ideally, you want to be on the front side before you take a life, right? So you can get 5k to the leader plus all your to your Zenoh and to your Napa, right? So that way there'll be this will be a 20k and this will be a 15k. Then hopefully you have 4 less lives, draw 2 cards and then awaken. On the awaken side, you could do her effect again, right? Take another life. So hopefully you have 3 or more life by the time you do this. Take another life and give your leader and all battle cards 5k. So then this will be a 25k and the Napa will be a 20k. The leader will be a 25k. Awaken Warrior Bardic obviously is already a 20k double strike. So that right there's 2 potential damage from that, 3 from her, 4 from that, and 5 from Napa. So you have potential 5 damage. And they're all 20k plus. Swinging your opponent, which means your opponent's going to need at least 10k to out combo the 20k, right? So need 10k to out combo this, 10k to out combo the Napa, but to out combo the leader and to out combo Zenoh, they're going to need 15k for those 2, right? So even if they had like 4 super combos, right? That'd be 1 for this one to stop this one. Then they'll need 1 for this plus a 5k, 1 for this plus a 5k. But you can always make these cards attacks even stronger. Ideally, you want to save your double strike for your last attacks. You want to attack everything else and try to force some cards out the hand. Because if they're comboing, that's good because that puts them in kill range for this. So then the idea is, which is why I wanted this one specifically instead of one that plays and rips a card, is because it does have double strike and you can cheaply play it for 4. Shouldn't be hard to get 4 cards in the drop for this. And then the fact that remember you took a life from the front side, then you awaken, so you draw 2 cards from this. That's 3 cards you have. Then you took another life on your awakened side, so that's 4 cards. You have 4 cards, and then when she swings, she'll draw a card, so that's 5 cards. 5 cards just from your leader alone, on top of the fact that you got 5 cards from Zenoh. Granted, Awakened Warrior Bardic and Napa are probably 2 of the cards you played from your hands, so that brings you down to 3 cards, but 3 plus the 5 that you got from the leader, that's a total of 8 cards that you have an advantage over your opponent with, and your opponent only have 5 cards to play with. So the fact that you have a bigger hand size than your opponent increases your chances of obviously dumping your, if you have a lot of combo power, right, dumping your hand into the Awakened Warrior Bardic and going for game. So there's that. CardGamesTV1 obviously is helping you to board wipe, especially if you're in a situation where playing Sin Shenron ain't the best choice on turn 3. Then you got CardGamesTV1 for that. It also has the ability you can ignore barrier minus 25k from something. This comes in handy in certain situations. Sometimes I use this to kill the 9-drop. The 9-drop Sin Shenron. Like I said, if Sin Shenron would stop the chain combo, then this is stuff. There's at least 2 cards in the deck you can try to use to deal with it, if that's the case. Pan, like I said, she's another potential winning con, another strategy in the deck you can use. I mean, you can even combine her with a chain attack Trunks, where you play Trunks, then play Fearless Pan from Trunks effect, and then Trunks would become a 25k double strike, right? Then use the leader front side and back side to give essentially 10k to Pan, which will make her 25k, and give an extra 10k to Trunks, and he'll become a 35k double strike. Remember, when you awaken your leader, you lose the double strike from Pan but not the power boost. So keep that in mind. So the leader will be just right. So she'll get an extra 15. So she'll be a 30k on her awakened side because of Pan and her own effect. So it should be a 30k leader. So keep that in mind. I mean, if you really want to make her double strike, something you can do is, let's see. Well, yeah, you can try to get out a couple, like, if you have your Topos and Apples in play, then you can obviously do Caulifla's Awaken, front side effect, right? Awaken, draw 2 cards, do her backside effect to give all your battle cards, the 10k boost, then play Pan, giving leader 5k plus all your battle cards, an extra 5k boost plus double strike. So that way the leader could be a 30k double strike. So that'd be your final attack, and you can swing with Pan, being a 15k, right? Swing with her. Topo will be 35k. Right? Yeah, be 35k. So technically, you might want to save him as your final attack, right? So her and him will be like your last attack. So it'll be Pan. Let's say there's an app will be 25k double strike. So you swing with her, maybe combo cards to get her to 20, just to apply a little bit of pressure, and then hopefully force your opponent try to combo out or just take the hit, and then it's like, all right, swing with 25 double strike Nappa, then swing with a 30k double strike leader, then draw a card, of course, right? Hopefully it's a combo, maybe a super combo, right? And then swing with Nappa. It'll be 35k double strike, and then just throw in, some extra cards on it and get it past 35k, get it to like 40k, 50k type of deal. And just get it up there to big numbers. I mean, if you have enough cards in your drop, then drop, Bardock overall, right? And then go for 20k double strike after that. As you can see, a lot of double strike in this deck. So there's we're going hard. We got Universe 4 Assemble. This is to help, to help us from the drop get back our Caulifla's energy to help us hit the, fill up the board, so that way we do like a Fearless Pan. Because especially if we're like turn 4 and you have Fearless Pan and Saint Scion, or you have Fearless Pan and Universe 4, you can obviously, play Saint Scion or the Universe 4 to help you get out the Caulifla's, right? And then do the leader's ability, to power up the leader as well as to power up the Caulifla's, then play Pan, which will power up the leader and give the leader double strike, and power up the Caulifla's and give them strike. So that way there'll be 25k double strikes, along with the leader being a 30k double strike. So that's a lot of power, and there'll be double strikes. So definitely take advantage of that. As you can see, simple, straightforward strategy to get some big. So we're going wide and tall at the same time. Strategy. First, we got super combos for that. Testing that position, running rates, of course, along with Topos of defensive cards. Already mentioned those, and Pan as our baby Hatchiyak. Just a defensive and offensive card, because of course with enough battle cards, especially if you get this after the chain Zenoh, right? You can drop Waking Warrior Bardock, maybe a couple of Nappas, just at least try to get 4 battle cards, and you can drop this for free and get an extra attack in there. So there's some potential. That's the end of the video.